Because one of the things we look very quickly now is the idea of a migration in the 6th century from, well, they set off from Wales, but it's a British migration, right? People should feel part of this, to America, right? Now, if we look at this map, hang on, I'm going to walk. Oh, there's sit, don't I? So if we can, oh, look at this. I'll cut this slide, I think. Shit, I was right up there. Right, so the idea is, okay, that this is a ridiculously difficult journey. You see, that's 3,000 miles. Open sea, everyone's going to get lost. It's not going to work, okay? What always makes me wonder, where am I standing on a block someone? There we are. Is no one has a problem with, not even on this map, it's so small. Around here somewhere is Easter Island, which is just a dot in this massive Pacific. That's okay. Blokes just in a raft. Blokes in a raft can float through and find that. That's no problem. Whereas this journey across the Atlantic is impossible. And this is a mantra, if you like, a diktat that was started around about 1800 by someone called Powell. Nothing before Columbus, okay? Nothing. It's got to be Native American. And if you don't agree, you're a racist. That's the mad thing about it. It's stupid. The fact you throw all the Native American history out as well, all that's got to go. And they're like, why haven't we got records of this? And they think, no. Everything, kind of nothing's European. It's called independent development. Like exactly the same thing happens there as there, and it's just because that's the way it is, right? You make the same kind of mounds, the same sort of coracles. There's no contact. Whereas the ironic thing is, in Britain, and Wales particularly, it's exactly the opposite. Absolutely nothing ever was invented independently. Nothing. Every single thing ever came from other people. You notice this, it's a British thing. The Romans did it, or the Normans did it, or Saxons did it, or, you know, this Hallstatt, or Latin, all these fancy names. They're all absolute nonsense. And that's one of the things we talk about there. Well, one interesting thing is, what I'm doing with Wilson and Blackett, they're getting old. I'm helping take their work on and take it to the next bit and getting the books available. This is how we get around the censorship. We're going to make them available. Anyway, so this again is a matter of perspective, right? Because that's the sort of, these are all projections. Martin's the expert on this. Martin's great on this. I actually asked him for some help on this bit. Because that's the Mercator projection. And there's our massive Atlantic. How on earth are you going to get from there to there? It's obviously impossible, yeah? But then if you, and this isn't flat Earth particularly, all right, it's changing projection. It just happens to be the same map as flat Earth uses. Oops, sorry, as we talking about Easter Island. We can't have slides for this, good, isn't it? And that's called the Peters projection, which you might be aware of. The idea there is to try and more accurately represent the size of different places. So the difficulty you get, if you are working from a globe or whatever shape, as you get to the end, the tops, you have to stretch it out. You know, if you've got a ball and it's flattening it out. So this is another projection. Just as much nonsense as the other one, really, but there you go. Just to give an idea, it's still a long way from Britain to America, okay? But if you just take the same thing and look at this one, which might be a bit small for you to see, this is a different projection. This is from the north, from above, as it were, with the North Pole in the centre, or very similar to the UN flag or the Flat Earth map, which suddenly it looks like that. So suddenly you think, hang on a second, that doesn't look such a bad journey, suddenly does it? Can you see my little map? Oh, hang on a second. All right, there's. That's a bit better, you can see that there. Hang on a second.
It's never been the same since I sent it back recent.
It's a flat, isn't it? No?
Well, this is a projection you see on a flat Earth map, usually, something like this. Yeah. And yes, they're usually North Pole, but it's also a global model as well, so, you know, I don't think it makes a big difference either way, but, so what you suddenly see, though, is, hang on a second, we're not going to go all the way across there. You can just hop. You've got the Faroe Islands, you can hardly see. Iceland, Greenland, then you've got these places, Newfoundland. Suddenly it's an island hop. And this is a very, very easy journey. Especially if you think it's an island nation that's been trading with the Mediterranean for thousands of years. Do you reckon there's another area I look at is quite a bit of American history. One of the big stories, as Lee Pennington puts it, there's a big debate in Europe. So in the Bronze Age, where did all the copper come from? And if you go to Minnesota in America, there's this big debate going on, where did all the copper go? For the one hand, there's millions of tons of copper gone missing. The other one, there's millions of tons of copper. No one knows where it came from. Do you think maybe it's a miracle? Someone actually sailed across, you know? This just seems bizarre, doesn't it? It's impossible. So you're not going to get me again, Mr. Speaker. So suddenly you change perspective, it's not so ridiculous at all. It's pretty clear, there's loads of contact.